Hello, hello, wonderful Confidence Through Cabaret community. Heather Jean here. I have not been live for a little while on my own. And some of that is because I have so many exciting things that I'm working on that are coming up. And I just, uh, I, time escapes and I think, oh, I'll do it later. And then you know how that goes. Although I'm not really a procrastinator when it comes to it. For those of you I haven't met or haven't seen for a little while, I am Heather Jean. I am one of the co-pioneers of Confidence Through Cabaret, and I love having you here. Um, I help women to show up in their lives and in their business by helping them heal their mind body connection and their mind body relationship. And you'll see that I do fairly regular free live masterclasses, which are off of social media, which doesn't have a replay, is just for the people who show up. And sometimes we talk about our relationship to how we feel about our bodies. Sometimes we talk about our self-love and what that means and how we're feeling in that moment. But I help women to develop positive and supportive beliefs to allow you to really own your space, which is what Confidence Through Cabaret is all about, is really just taking up space unapologetically. And I help you to be able to find that space and own that space unapologetically without, needing explanation, so that you get to follow your passion and you get to find and achieve the results while building unshakable confidence. Now, sometimes that means that we fail. And so that's what I wanted to come on live just briefly and share with you, the topic of failure. I've been thinking a lot about it today and over the past several weeks, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't been live on my own, because I've had a lot of my own personal situation. I know quite a lot of you are aware that my son went missing for about 5 months throughout, kind of the summer and into Christmas season and into January. And I actually had to go and find him, which I successfully did, and he is happy and healthy and working through some stuff. Um, and trying to do that while running my business. I've had a training and coaching consultancy for over 25 years with career and visibility coaching and leadership and interpersonal communication skills training. So trying to manage that, trying to be in Confidence Through Cabaret. I've got some really exciting upcoming projects, trying to be true to the master classes and to the programs that I run that extend beyond the feeling wonderful in our body and extend beyond, kind of the self-love, but we go into, movement and feeling into our body and what that feels like. And some of the cabaret workshops that I run as well are part of my bigger programs. So in doing that, it can start to feel like I'm so busy and yet I'm achieving nothing. Sometimes we put our heart and soul into the one thing that is we're really passionate about, and that's wonderful, but we don't get the results that we wanted or the results that we expected. And, for me, when we are apologetic and not taking up space in our body, when we are not raising our voice and sharing our message, then it is affecting our business very much. It's also possibly or probably affecting our personal life as well as our stage life. In other words, whatever your stage is, might be social media and showing up live or going on podcasts or doing those things. And that's why I do call outs fairly regularly in the community of who wants to go live and who wants to do a podcast. Let us get to know you. Let us, help you experience being live and being on your live stage. So coming back to this word failure. So failure isn't really failure. The words that we use are so emotive, and that's why I do a lot of work around beliefs, because we believe that failure is not something we're supposed to do, and failure is not something that we want to be described as, but failure isn't really failure. And so I wanted to just come on and share with you 5 very quick tips about what failure realistically is, and how to get through that with confidence. So failure is really about not having the information available to us that we needed in order to have the outcomes that we wanted or expected, or what we call success. So it's not a bad thing. In fact, it's kind of arrogant to think we're not going to fail. We all will fail. And you've all heard the analogies of, a baby trying to learn to walk, and then they keep trying and they keep trying. It's the same with anything. And somehow we get to adulthood and we start to believe that that's not something we're supposed to do. And wherever those beliefs come from in our programming, it's time to stop it. It's crazy to think that you won't fail. So failure isn't the problem. The problem is how you are responding to it. The problem is your inability, or our inability, to respond in a positive and confident way. So if you think about how I've just defined that failure is not having all of the information that we needed in order to have the outcome that we expected or wanted at the time, then instead of getting into this mindset where we're saying, oh, I don't know how to, um, I don't know how to face this again. I don't know how to try again. I've tried everything I can think of. And we get into this really kind of downward spiral, and that takes away our confidence. Instead of that, what we're talking about here is sort of saying, okay, so I didn't know everything that I needed to know in order to get the results that I wanted or needed or hoped for. So what do I need to know? And these are the 5 tips that I wanted to just talk about on this live here. So in order to avoid the victim cycle where, oh, I always fail, and then, and then how am I going to show up again? And in order to get through this with the confidence that you will need to get up and try again, in order for you to not lose your momentum, which is where confidence comes from, then my first point is to be accountable. Stop making excuses of where that failure came from, because that says already that you're considering failure is a bad thing, and failure is something that's limiting you, and how are you going to try again? So stop making excuses and be accountable. Take responsibility to realize the part that you play in your experience and your outcomes. And then that way you can say, okay, this is the role that I took, and I need to take a different role. I need to find out more information. I need to try it in a different way. I need to, try something completely new. So be accountable is my first, or take responsibility is my first point. My second of 5 points is to avoid the blame game. It's really easy to say, it was their fault, or other people let me down, or whatever excuses that you come up with, or whoever you blame, to be able to say, oh, my dog is having a big yawn. So in order for you to be able to take accountability and responsibility for the part that you play, and not blame other people, or not blame the universe, or not blame the fairness of life, it's not other people's responsibility, nor is it your responsibility to make other people's outcomes the success that they wanted them to be. So avoiding that blame game. So being accountable and taking responsibility, and avoiding the blame game. And then the third point that I wanted to make about failure is stop telling yourself that the failure stories. Stop criticizing yourself. Shut off that inner voice and be here in this moment. And what are you going to do next? So, sometimes we loop those stories around in our heads, and we tell ourselves the story so many times that it becomes a pattern, and a very either new belief or stronger belief that we're a failure, or we can't do this. I've been I've been trying for 4 days now to fix my member site, confidencethroughcabaret.com. We put up a new masterclass every month, and with love and passion, I created a stress and wellness masterclass for the month of March, which was due up 3 days ago. And I'm just really struggling with my website crashing. Now, I can keep telling myself that story, and I can keep saying, I'm not good at the technology, and the more I do
Mm,
that, the stronger that belief will
mhm,
get. So be accountable and take responsibility. Avoid the blame game, and then stop telling yourself the stories that are unhelpful and disempowering. Stop criticizing yourself and beating yourself up over it. So be careful about what you're telling yourself. The fourth thing that I wanted to say is, oh, my dog's really wanting attention. The fourth thing that I wanted to say is make sure that you learn from it. If the results are good, here's my dog now. This is Chase. Chase is my co-host right now, apparently. This happens quite often, and we're all perfectly imperfect, so it's fine. So learn from it. And by that, I mean, do your reviews. I'm by nature not a reflector. I'm by nature not someone who likes to sit down and do a postmortem of how did that go and what happened and, where did I go wrong and all those things. So, but learning from it means that you'll be able to get the information of the reason why you didn't get the outcomes that you expected or wanted. And then my fifth point is to rethink it. So having learned from it, then rethink about the way that you think about failure. So figure out what information or action you're missing and then rethink the next time. So imagine that. This is crazy. This is like one of those candid shows where they say don't work with children or animals. So rethink it. So that means then tell yourself the story that you want to hear. You've put in the time, you've learned from it, you've got the information, and you're trying again. And you tell yourself that you are trying again. And for that, I would say, make sure that you are celebrating what you did try, that you showed up, that you gave it a shot, and talk to yourself in a positive way. I'm getting a lot of love here from Chase. This is hilarious. So that next time when you want to try again, you'll be ready with the new information and the adjusted action and the positive inner space that you need in order to be successful. So isn't that so much better than dread and fear and worry and feeling victim and feeling, blaming others or wanting to give up? Because that is the only true failure, is giving up and not trying again or not trying in the first place. So the way that I would combat that temptation to give in to the fear and the victim is to just keep trying, and when you think about that success, ask yourself, is the strategy that I'm using something that I would want to teach to my loved ones? Is this the approach I would want my loved ones to take? If the answer is no, then stop doing it yourself, right? Stop doing it because it's not something you'd want your loved ones to do. You would want them to embrace it, to learn, to grow, to celebrate, to do all of those things. So, keep trying and celebrate that effort no matter what the results are. And one day you will get the results you intend or surprising other results that are wonderful. So just recap on those 5 points, and then I will let you go and find out, and I will go and find out what my wonderful dog is asking me for. So be accountable and stop making excuses and take responsibility. Avoid blaming others or the universe or whomever you are blaming. Stop telling yourself the stories of failure and criticism and unworthiness, and then learn from your failures and then rethink it so that you can reconfigure it and try again with the action or the information that you need. I love being part of this community. I love how supportive and uplifting it is. I love how generous the energy is in here. And we are all here to support and uplift one another's confidence. Um, Check out the podcast this week. I talk a little bit about this on there, as well as other things around personal life confidence. That's on Confidence Through Cabaret, anywhere you get your podcasts, or on the Confidence Through Cabaret YouTube channel. You will find it under the vodcast playlist. I am Confidence Through Cabaret on all of the socials except for Twitter, which is at YBYWYS. And on Clubhouse, I am at Heather YBYWYS. And you are always welcome to either post in the community on Facebook, which is where I hang out and I love to be every single day, several times throughout the day, or drop a message wherever you're watching this. I know some of you might be on the YouTube channel as well. I love your comments on there. Please like and subscribe if you're there. So it just remains for me to remind you that with six little letters that we use for Twitter, which is at YBYWYS, stand for it is your body and it is your world and it is your stage. Take up space and own it. That's how you're going to grow in your personal life. That's how you're going to get a successful growth in your business. And that's how you are going to confidently show up on your stage life, whatever your stage is. Thank you so much. Bye for now.